Alright, the next deck of the day is going to be this Riven Might deck. This is an aggressively slanted deck that's looking to use the Reforge mechanic as a way to allow us to get aggressive while also leveling Vi. So, or pumping up Vi in our hand in hopes to level her up. So, the most recent set of balance changes, Riven and the Reforge mechanic got a bit of a buff in two ways. One, Blade Squire was given a second point of attack instead of the second point of defense he used to have, making it overall just a better one-drop in a deck like this that's looking to be aggressive, while also, you know, being another way to consistently forge Blade of the Exile, which is the other change that was made is Blade of the Exile now costs 1 instead of 3, so way more efficient efficient cost and worth forging off the back of all these things. You know, I played a game, I made this list, or rather I tweaked this list. This is one that's been in my collection for a little bit. And the fact that you can like do something like just play out a Vi and then be able to have the threat of a Blade of the Exile to put on a leveled Riven or Vi for 1 mana feels so good in a deck like this, because like 3 mana was a lot of mana, even if it's spell mana, you know, that you might have been able to build up over several rounds to play a Blade on something. So the fact that it just costs a third of that now feels very good. Outside of that, the deck is just, you know, collection of reasonable, aggressive units that we like to curve out into. Blade Squire on 1. Ballistic Bot is a nice threat because we have ignitions that we can use and discard to things like Sump Dredger on 3. After playing this on 2, we can use it to discard to Rummage, but it's also just a constant source of damage that the opponents have to deal with. The fact that this Ballistic Bot has the Augment keyword means it's going to get very large very quickly with all the blade fragments we're creating, and something worth using, something like the heavy blade fragment on, or even Blade of the Exile in some situations, and of course the other card which the deck is named after, Might. The reason why this is in the deck is because we wanted consistent ways of finding overwhelm effects to pair with our Rivens and ourVis primarily, but also it's very good with our Ballistic Bots when they get very big. Might represents a +4 attack plus overwhelm on a Vi, which can push her, which can help you know, like turbo level her in a manner of speaking, while also dealing a ton of damage. If it's used on a leveled Riven, it's a +6 overwhelm for that round. And like I said, we can use it on large Ballistic Bots that got large because of the Augment keyword. And in some situations, though very rarely, we might even want to use them on our Chempunk Pickpockets to push damage while also getting its Nexus Strike trigger and getting a random spell. That's not the main reason why this card's in the deck, though. I think this is just a really great 2-drop in an archetype like this. 3/2 for 2. Generates card advantage against the slower decks, usually. And it's paired with our Blade Fragments, you know, giving this thing quick attack or overwhelm and making it a must-answer. And something that can generate card advantage or is really nice, while also just being a decent stat line off the bat. Rune Weavers, of course, generate Blade Fragments. Iron Ballista, just a solid 3-drop. 4/3 overwhelm for 3. Giving this quick attack or the +2 attack from Blade Fragments can be great for pushing damage. Some Dredgers, as we said, just a solid 3-drop. Curves with Ballistic Bot very nicely. On occasion, we're also going to discard Blade Fragments to it to look for just the filters through our deck. And then like filling out the deck is things like Chump Wumps that we can use. It's a solid threat, but we're using the Mushroom Clouds to help us to pair with Rummage and get excited. Rummage helps us gas back up or find our key cards that we're missing, maybe our Mights if we have a leveled Vi, or Vi if we're missing her Rivens, etc. And then we just have a bunch of burn spells mixed in the list as well. Mystic Shot, Get Excited, Aftershock, all reasonable tools that help us control the board when we need to, but also help us push damage when we're looking to close games out. So, interested to see how this feels, because this deck felt pretty great the last time we played it. It didn't feel like super strong, but it felt like it was doing stuff, so I'm wondering if the change to the Reforge mechanic, the buff to the Reforge mechanic, makes it gives it that little bit of extra it needed to be competitive. Notably, the one card we used to have in this deck, but we cut, was Captain Pharaon. Captain Pharaon was recently nerfed slightly in the latest update. We're not cutting him because he was nerfed. We're cutting him because I'm trying to see if Vi plus, you know, all of our overwhelm effects and the rest of the cards we're running is enough to help push damage. Obviously, Captain Pharaon's a very strong, individually powerful card that may still be worth running, but I'm trying to see if this mix of cards feels adequate. I think we'll go ahead and talk about that play that we mentioned before. We'll discard the Ignition to Sump Treasure, start getting aggressive. We have a Rummage in hand and 2 Chump Wimps, so we have plenty of discard fodder for those when we need to. It's an interesting hit. I guess he's like telling me go ahead, attack with your 4/3. I don't think we will. With this Mystic Shot in hand, we have an answer to this. And that might be what we do this turn. Might go Riven, Mystic Shot this, open attacks. We do lose this Ignition, but I think that's okay. If he wants to use Troll Chant defensively here, I think that's fine, because it means he's not... The -2 attack is not significant this round. So I think this is a win for us overall if they're using their Troll Chant in this manner. See what Blade Fragment we get here. +2. Not exactly what we wanted to see. It's a Vi, though. That's actually kind of nice. Am I just playing her out? No, I don't think so. I think we'll just start developing the board. I might put the +2 on this thing. Okay, now I'm not gonna do that. It still might not be bad to do. We could push a point of damage and make him trade one of his archers here, but I don't think that's worthwhile. Sure.
I failed.
What do we think? Do I just swing in with these and see if he wants to trade? He probably does, but I mean, we have to get through those threats at some point. I probably leave the Ballistic Bot. I'd rather throw this away. There's a good chance this becomes a 4/3 or better very soon anyway, especially if we want to play these Mushroom Clouds just as ways to buff both Vi and the Ballistic Bot with this Might in hand. Could be okay. I don't think I swing with this, but I think I might actually swing with this. Especially when I know that he can't, like, protect it. We gotta get through these at some point.
System upgrade.
There's an Aftershock to deal with this. Though we might not care about it at this point.
Nothing like the great outdoors.
I actually just want to keep, make sure our...
Just trying to help.
Maybe that's stupid because he could easily have a second Teemo.
Finding details is my duty. Witness perfection, meatbags. No stone unturned. Pitiful.
Do we think he has a combat trick? Probably. I'll just skip.
I'm ready. A ticket to the gun show. System upgrade.
We're actually going to start losing our draws here. Which is very annoying. Maybe I should have tried to trade off there, actually, because of that. Let's start with this and see what he does. Okay, he's holding up, he's almost certainly holding up Thingy.
I got the goods.
He's holding up Harsh Winds almost certainly.
Destiny awaits. Beg your pardon?
I'll protect the villages.
Harsh Winds these two just to keep his life total high. I'm fine with that.
Stay back. I'll protect the villages.
This is fine because it means we don't overdraw anymore.
The village.
They don't know what they're up against.
That's obviously very
Thought you'd
scary.
never ask. Sounds dangerous. I'm in.
Do we try to kill him in response? I don't know that we really can. We need like Mystic Shot Get Excited off of the draw too, and that's very unlikely.
Join the hunters, they said. Firing! I hope that was mud.
Here comes the punchline.
The chances of us getting to do too much with our attack is very unlikely. He's seen a lot of cards, so they could easily have the overwhelm effects or the harsh winds style effects. If this goes through, though, that's very good for us. Yep. What do we want to try to do here? It's going to 9. This is +3. Do we try to kill Ezreal? I don't think we win if we try to kill Ezreal. I think we gotta try to push damage. I should have probably used this +2 actually. When I think about it.
Move it. My warrant. Not that I need it.
Opponent's being rude, but that's fine.
I'll let you off easy this time.
I think the only real choice we had that game was whether it was where we pointed our aftershock, and maybe I was supposed to use it on one of the hex cores. Yeah, I mean, our deck is a go big deck. Frostbite is gonna be very good against it, just the way it is. So us hoping to dodge their frostbite effects is like unfortunately going to be a significant part of our game plan. I think I'm going to cut... I think I like to get excited for like Dravens and Ezreals. I think I'm going to cut or toss back the Sump Dredger looking for just more early game. Riven's very good though, and I probably want to miss that shot. Weaver's a little late. It's okay. Deal Areno. I actually just played two drops here.
Silly thing.
Easy trade. Now there's a good chance this gets in and generates some card advantage. Yeah, I think I'd rather do that than try to develop the board more. Make him spend a removal on this.
Just borrow it.
To serve the greater good.
Oh, wow, that's so good. Getting him to use a Thermo Beam on our 2-drop when we have another Riven in hand. Very, very nice. So they have a whatchamacallit in hand, Ravenous Flock. And they're down to 3 cards, which isn't that bad. I think I'll play this because it blocks here nicely.
I'm sorry, who are you?
Is that all you got?
Go ahead and play this, and then in response to their Ravenous Flock, I killed this thing. No Ravenous Flock. How do we want to play this? They're already down 2 Thermo Beams. I think we'll start by doing this, actually. Alright, maybe I was supposed to forge the blade so I don't die to this, because if I was counting, I guess I would have known that Tri-Beam was on that.
I failed.
Now I can go... I could do that and see what they do. The quick attack one's probably the one we're discarding to get excited.
What do we have here? Save me, Luke.
See if they have any more plays. I'll do this because we still have enough mana to Aftershock and Ezreal if they play him out. Which I think is fine. Vibe. A little late, but... This could be a bait. I feel like if they had an Ezreal, they would have tried to play him out before. Maybe not.
I'm doing this my way.
Now I wish I still had quick attack. That's might. They have Daddy Pharaon as their last card.
Humanity
Quite.
is obsolete.
No, I'm gonna keep the mushrooms in hand.
Can you improve perfection?
Okay.
System upgrade. Join me if you want to live.
Gotta hope that our leftovers are good enough compared to what they have.
Safety disengaged. Pitiful.
Still getting in for a lot of damage, so. Seeing a lot of cards, that's the scary thing.
Witness perfection, meatbags.
Might have been right to try to put puff caps in their deck, get them down to 2. Their deck doesn't have any healing.
Check me out. Don't blink or you'll miss me.
If I draw a rummage, I'm gonna feel so bad. But this might be the way we win the game. See what they do, because if they pass without attacking with Ez, we'll wait for their attack before we do anything.
It's not bragging if you could back it up. I've got the reins. Gotcha.
Another Overwhelm is nice, but they're probably going to hit this just to ensure that I can't attack with it. He might have something for the Overwhelm thing. Okay, we're hoping his last card is not something that lets them interact with this.
Safety disengaged. So ordinary.
Had to get excited. That's so unfortunate. Okay. We're probably dead. But is that 3 get excited we've seen from them? One of these was mine, I think. 2? Yeah.
Once I stamp papers, now faces. System upgrade.
One shot, all skills.
Inferior design.
Got me.
Couldn't get there. I guess the big brain play that I missed that game was not counting the number of times they played a 3-drop for the Tri-Beam, and then if I had thought about that. Maybe that one turn where they killed our Riven, I could have like turbo leveled her by playing 3 blade fragments just to get her out of range of that. I don't know if that's right though, because they have so many other ways they could just kill her. I guess they had spent 2 thermo beams at that point, but I don't know. I felt like that was a close game. I feel like we just got a little unlucky. I think we played pretty well overall. I'd have to watch the replay. Our top decks were obviously not as good as their top decks. Like, if we had found Rummages or Sump Dredgers while we had the Mushroom Clouds in hand, like, they found their Sump Dredgers, we didn't find ours, or our Rummages, you know? Like, we needed those. And we might have been able to... instead, we kept finding Iron Ballistas, right? Which were fine, but they weren't as good. Maybe we would have been able to go wide around what they were doing.
You name it, I'll nick it.
See if they have a way to interact with this. If not, we'll open attack. Try to get some card advantage. That's tempting, but I don't think it's right based on this region combination. Nopify is actually quite good.
Never breaks.
They could have Nopifies of their own to stop this Get Excited, so I think
Take from the rich, give to me.
we're gonna bank a couple spell mana, try to Get Excited this so it doesn't get a so it doesn't draw them a card, and then we'll card for card is fair though. Maybe we just make them
What's this you got there?
try to protect their thing. No, they don't want to.
What form will the waters take?
See the world from behind a basilisk.
See the world.
I go where the road takes me.
Break the ties that bind.
Am I shipping all 3 in here? I really wanted that to be plus. This is a +2.
What conflict awaits?
I alone decide my fate.
It's a lot of damage, actually. So maybe it's fine. I don't want them stunning this necessarily, right? Because I want to finish it with Get Excited. So I think I just let this happen. But we'll Nopify first.
My war host awaits.
Only the lucky ones return home.
I kind of want to keep... Well, we have a Might in hand. Yeah. Let's kill the Yasuo while the killing's good.
Clear my name.
This might be an Iron Ballista Riven swing kind of turn, depending on what our opponent does. No, I'm fine with that.
Heart and blade, both broken. I failed.
It's an aftershock. The chances of Vi getting through are so slim,
One girl wrecking
but we need
crew.
to try eventually. I might actually might this. You know what? I think I'm just gonna let this happen.
I don't need a plan. Trouble coming at ya. Eat this. That's how we do it.
Noxus never dies. All will kneel before Noxus.
I hope that was mud.
No going back.
Oops. How much do I care about that? Like, it hits me, and then what, he's gonna replay it as a blocker? I don't think I care about that.
You name it, I'll nick it.
Just try.
Close the distance.
Could block with Vi. Probably not worth it. Could also just concussive palm. I guess that's a reason not to play this out, eh? I should have concussive palmed. Do this.
They'll never know what killed them.
The world waits, begging for dominion.
I tried being polite. Trouble coming at ya.
They didn't play certain stun effects that I expected them to before, so maybe we swing here. If this doesn't connect, we're only going to do another 4 damage.
Let's get to the fun part.
We have to try to do this. Oh, alright, it worked. Whoa, what the hell was that? It's fun punching through with a big scary Vi. Okay, Yaz, Draven. Probably very similar to the archetype we just played. They're just playing a different quick attack champion to go along with stuff. Yes to get excited. Probably no to Mystic Shot. It doesn't kill their key threats. I mean, it's nice to kill things like their Arachnoid Sentry and Tail of the Dragons, I suppose, but I'd rather look for other things, I think, to start. Okay. Much like the last game, if they just pass back here, I'm just gonna play the Chempunk Pickpocket and make them spend a stun effect.
What do we have here?
Yep.
Sharing is caring.
That I am superior life form.
Getting them to do that before they
Perfection.
can put a Yasuo on the field is always nice too.
The party has arrived.
I wanted to Sump Dredger away this ignition, but we might just get excited this. I guess there was no reason to do that pre-combat. Oh, deal. I think. Oh, I guess it's just replay him. Never mind. No deal.
It's Draven time.
I'd actually pass to start and see what they do.
Can you improve perfection?
Because
Axes.
I was trying to bait them into playing a Yasuo there that we could get with Vi, but they didn't take the bait. Now, unfortunately, they have enough resources to play Yasuo and play Intimidating Roar, which is kind of scary. Guess we'll try this.
Draven down.
Assuming he just has another one. In which case... should just go with you, I think.
Power linger in the air.
Safety disengage.
If he wants to go here, that means we're keeping a lot of this other stuff, which I think is fine. What is this, a +2 though?
Prime and ready.
Yeah, like he wants to recall this and continuously get value out of it, but now that means he's taking a bigger hit this round.
You cannot win.
I guess guessing he has another one, which would be unfortunate.
This is a mistake.
System upgrade.
Start with this.
Humanity is obsolete.
The party has arrived.
Riven! My favorite client! How you been? My money, my rules.
Another bot.
Watch and learn.
Take from the rich, give to me.
Can you improve perfection?
Here comes the punchline.
My future.
Join the hunters, they said.
May as well use this.
These toys.
I'll show the hunters.
Trouble
This is gonna hurt for you.
I think we try to pump these with
Got an axe
a
with your
Vault
name on
Breaker
it.
for sure. This was the one we got later, so I think...
You've done it this time.
Wow, he just had nothing.
And that's a knockout!
Opponents keep surrendering before we can strike the Nexus. Nah. Okay, discard aggro. We're gonna be looking for our early blockers plus removal for this matchup for sure. Riven's pretty good. I think the rest of this we throw away. We have plenty of other threes that we can find. We want to find our 1s and 2s. There's a 2, there's a Mystic Shot. Pretty good. Might's a blank, but you never know.
I brought my books. Hope that's all
Okay,
right.
that's fine.
Putting study into practice. You name it.
Awful. That's probably filtering away this might. Pass for now. Let's see what they do, depending on how they attack.
It's Draven time.
Definitely gonna go ahead and just kill this. Can.
Draven down.
Just as I hypothesized.
Get a review. They have a spinning axe that they wouldn't mind discarding, so I'll get rid of the big thing. I think Riven's our play. It might actually be right to filter away this this might now, but I kind of like playing Riven because if they have a second Draven, their open attacks is actually I guess their open attacks is fine because of thingy. All right, let's start with this actually now then and see what they do. I mean, we forced them to use the spinning axes, but it's not really a force. Like, it's not that big of a deal.
Heart and blade, both broken. For the lost.
We might actually hit both of these with our Mystic Shots, especially if they do something like if they have like double vision in hand, you know?
Oh, it is a great
Or that. We're definitely Mystic Shotting that if they don't open attacks. If they do, then we have okay blocks.
The hunt's as big as his biceps. It's the sea.
Still think we're supposed to do it.
If I fall, so be it.
Is that all you got?
This plus this actually kills the crowd favorite, so I think that's what we need to do. It's not ideal, but it's what we have. It's what we got. So get excited for the Jinx that they're gonna play.
The party has arrived.
I am
No
superior.
Jinx means I think I'll do this because I'd rather discard the ignition. The deal, Reno.
System upgrade.
Rummage isn't bad, especially if both of these ballistic bots can somehow survive to the next turn. They're debating opening attacks, perhaps. I think we... I don't know.
Humanity is obsolete.
Axes need victims.
So ordinary.
We actually want to kill the evasive threats rather than this 2-2 that we can eventually block. This is bad if they have a Jinx as like their as one of their final cards. But it's just gonna happen sometimes.
Raven out?
We're just as likely to lose by constantly waiting to save our removal for a Jinx that never comes and then taking too many hits. Hopefully these live to the next
Just
turn.
you and me, Fishbones.
Safety disengaged.
Well, that is great. Can we kill her before she can level? Apparently not.
Fishbones! We're doing it!
Well, that's actually not that bad.
Words of power linger in the air. Desjardins. It is written.
Can you improve perfect?
Now it's a party! And if it helps, stick your lip out. I'll be out. Trust me.
Hopefully their last card is bad.
Piltover Enforcer on the scene.
Come on, Fishbones. I don't wanna.
Come on.
Oh, we're just dead. Yikes. Yep, had the Jinx as their final card. As one of them.
I'll let you off easy this time.
Double vision, man. If only we could have found a Mystic Shot. Oh, we would have been in such an insane spot, them using their vision on not that big of a board. Jinx down, and then they're on top decks. That would have been so good. One of those top decks was that 2-1 that wouldn't have been able to draw them a card. That would have been so good. Close game though. Yes to get excited, yes to Mystic Shot, yes to 2-drop that trades pretty well. I'd love the 1-drop, but we only have 3 of them in the deck. I don't think it's worth mulliganing aggressively just to try to find it. Hit it anyway.
Nothing like the great outdoors.
They have a turn 1 Teemo, of course. I think we still play the Blaze. Is it relevant? I don't think it is.
More mushrooms.
Maybe it is.
I'm cold, I'm hungry, and there's rocks in me boots.
It's my time.
I'm gonna kind of soft pass by making this attack. I don't think they take this trade anyway, and if they do, I'm probably fine with that. I think I am gonna play the Rune Weaver because if they play Draven, I would like to discard the Blade Fragment to get excited rather than one of the other cards in my hand.
These hands know metal and magic.
I'm gonna pass and see what they do.
Anything helps.
Trade, trade, trade. We deal with the Teemo later. Trade, trade, trade. Actually, I think this is good because we can eat it.
Never know what hit 'em.
2-1 or whatever.
I've got the reins.
Approach, savage.
They don't have crowd favorite, they have vision. I'm gonna pass and see what they do.
Every mushroom are precious. Yeah, but when do they explode? Got me.
They open attacks, it's not that bad. Wow. Guess they did put 10 of them in there. Still seems pretty lucky.
Time for the main
Okay, so
event.
they put a Draven on top of their deck. That's a little annoying. Ballistic Bot, I think, is fine.
Flesh was weak, but look at me now.
I salute you!
Had a crowd favorite, sure. I don't think we can win now. I think we needed to dodge that. We're taking at least 3 from that, even if I block it. If I don't block it, we're taking 6, 7, 8 from this. If we block everything else, which I think I have to do, I could Mystic Shot that, but that's still not that great. So yeah, I think we're dead.
Out ahead.
Like either way, I'm losing.
So ordinary.
Yep, I don't know.
Yeah.
Know what you do in this matchup.
Ooh.
Hope you have healing. That's the kind of decks that beat this. Decks that have healing.
Riven.
I don't think we can really beat starts like the ones our opponents have been having. No, come on. Seriously? Not that it matters, but kick me while I'm down, why don't you?
I write the rules of power.
Just play a burn spell so I can move on with my life. The chances of us winning this game are basically 0.
I have the best job.
Witness perfection, meatbags.
Like, we can't even really block this crowd favorite, probably.
System upgrade.
We're hoping for a Get Excited plus Mystic Shot off the top. Oh, and then they have this evasive threat? Yeah. About our only hope at that point was hoping our opponent disconnected. Let's see if we can get a non-discard aggro matchup. Doesn't seem to be good. We don't seem to be that. They're just so much faster than us. Like, we would have the resiliency, but when they get off to their really, really fast starts, not much we can do. I don't want to bin all of this. I just want to curve out against the Elusive's aggro deck. Make them have to make bad trades.
Prepared for anything.
I miss something? Oh, he's
Armed and ready.
Teemo Twisted Fate. I thought he was Fizz Twisted Fate.
Take from the rich, give to me.
Do they have a Mystic Shot?
Hurry and sneaky. I like it. Hurry and sneaky. I like it. They'll never know what hit them. Just for everyone.
Where do you stand on cold shots?
Huh. They have a Twisted Fate that'd be really nasty, I suppose.
What do we have here?
What do we think about giving this Might?
Something the matter?
Pushes damage and lets us draw a card.
Jack Pocket!
Flesh was weak.
Winter
but look at me
Warfare?
now.
What are we talking about, Winter Warfare? I don't know what that's referring to. Do I want to just play out a pickpocket? Probably.
What you looking for?
We might actually use this pick a card. Looking for a Mystic Shot, maybe.
Primed and ready.
Frosty stuff all over the place.
Armed and ready.
I'm not sure what you're seeing on my stream. Is my stream doing something weird? My stream. Nope. Are you referring to this effect? Oh boy, do I beam the Teemo? I don't think I think that's a mistake. I don't think the Teemo's that significant. I think I'd rather save this Mystic Shot for a Twisted Fate.
Ooh, quite a collection.
Let's draw some cards.
Can you improve perfection? Join me if you want to live.
Never lost a fair game. Or played with it.
We're not drawing a significant amount of cards, so we're just gonna save the spell mana, because we could draw a fleeting removal spell that we want to use. Yeah, like so.
Primed and ready.
Can we burn them out, potentially? This is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. They have an easy block right here, so that's not good. Could sump away one of these things if I don't feel like using it. Let's do this to start. I might have to get it. Well, I now have to get excited this aftershock, I suppose.
Safety disengaged.
Coming
of course. He has 1,000 of those in hand now, I'm sure. 2 1 mana spells we don't necessarily care about. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yep, we're exactly dead. It's rough. Rough, man. I guess we do this. Rummage away. Probably. You two. Rough beats, man. I think we've had some pretty unfortunate match luck or matchups with this deck. I feel like it's stronger than these games have indicated. Our opponent even discarded one of their iterative improvements there too, so like what are the chances of them finding 2 of them along with a burble fish? They didn't even draw that many cards. They didn't play any pick a card. They didn't they played 1 rummage and they rummaged away one of the things they needed for that. They didn't draw a card with Twisted Fate, no Zap Spray Fins, nothing. I guess they drew 2, binning a stress testing using a whatchamacallit plus, yeah, what was it? What's her name? I can't remember her name. We'll play one more with this and I think we'll move on. This kills both of their champions, so I think I'm keeping it. This puts on some pressure. Mystic Shot's probably fine, but maybe I'm supposed to look for more threats to curve into. Blade Squire much better in these situations where you can just play on 1 open on attacks, whereas normally it wasn't as nasty. Doesn't mean they don't have a 1-drop to play, but I think that one small change is significant improvement.
Spilled paint is just accidental art.
That's annoying, though. I think we're still interested in trading.
I've got the reins.
Don't find a 2-drop to play. We're just gonna bank the spell mana because, well, we don't really have a choice. I don't really want to rummage away just random stuff. I don't think we're hitting that with Mystic Shot, but we'll see. Seems like a pretty aggressive Thermo Beam, but it is what it is. I'm fine with that. We'll go here.
I'm still like a yodeling uniform.
You have an Aftershock for this, so that's nice. Each round, the first time you play 2 other cards.
Answers, I have them. Unforeseen outcome.
I feel like I want to Aftershock this, but it doesn't do anything, so I think we just set ourselves up for a good open attacks. They could be... I don't know. There's a chance they're running Static Shock in their deck, so I'm gonna not buff these. I guess I gave him a chance to refill some spell mana here, but not a huge deal, I don't think. We'll do this though. They didn't get the trigger at least, I suppose, so that's nice. No, they've already missed the window there, so that's fine. I think I'm just gonna go ahead and rummage away some blade fragments. Maybe maybe the mite and the mushroom actually. Alright. Bank some spell mana, probably play out the Vi this turn. See what our opponent does though.
Vi stands for violence.
I guess they could have a thermo beam to use here, but that's a pretty expensive thermo beam.
Get back here.
I think I'm okay killing this. It's more mana efficient for us, plus it lets us get in for 3. He says, and then plays out a unit and doesn't open attacks.
The enemies of day will fall. Radea.
I was probably supposed to do this pre-combat, honestly.
Words of power.
Yeah, I've missed like 3 points of damage by doing that. Okay. We didn't... Are they gonna take a rummage to like draw cards? Maybe? Yep.
What's a warrior but hands to wield a weapon?
The heart and mind to aim its strike.
You cannot sway me.
This actually pushes damage and saves our overwhelm unit, so I think it's right to do. Like, it's the same amount of damage as it would be if we had hit face, except we save our 4-3 overwhelm. Yeah, this was a game where, like, those blade fragments aren't being used the way they're intended, so to speak, but the rummage is letting us filter through our deck and actually find threats. Which is exactly why I think rummage is really great in a deck with the blade fragments.
With every step, 2 steps.
I was gonna say I probably should just actually filter away the rummage with that. I don't know if it really matters what he plays at this point. I think we're just gonna go too wide around with what he's got going on. Oof, 1 resource away from playing this. If he... What could he have phased with that? Or what did he phase? Graviton?
Doubt is heavy on their minds.
Gotta win for the road before moving
I
on.
know what I must do.
Yeah, I think this deck is decent. Is reasonable and potentially can be quite good. It just the details probably need to be figured out. Need to see how the format shakes out. We had some trouble against discard aggro. I feel like it was a combination of our draws not lining up particularly great and them having some really nasty draws themselves. But you know, I think if that's our one bad matchup, that's not bad. And I'm not saying that's our one bad matchup. I'm saying if that's a bad matchup for us and that's the only bad matchup, that's probably fine. But so I want to play more games against the field and really get a feel for this. I just love this combination. Riven's such a fun champion. Vi is a fun champion, and the two of them together with these reforged cards and like all that stuff, it just feels great. Very fun stuff. Really love the balance changes they've made recently. This last one we played was pretty fun too, though if I had to pick a preferred one of the two, really like that one. All right, that's enough for that. We'll move on to the next deck.